at you sideways. Had you taking food from my plate. For so many days we done never had. Ain't no sense in tricking, cause I'm trying to back up, big back, do whatever you like. Only got time, it's the end of the night. Gotta handle my emotions like I'm supposed to. I could be running over, I need more of you. I ain't no flex. No, I can't give you the rest. You got me open and need no stress. Got me so weak and it needs no sex. You're watching me. I'm getting a single moment of peace. The hype is real when you're here with me. The sweetest thing got me whipped like cream. Yeah, baby, it's just me. You're all I see. I ain't giving time. Why I always see you. Way back, like way back. It's the sweetest thing, baby. I'm whipped like cream. Baby, it's just me. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? What's happening? What's happening? Hi, Adrian. Hi, Irrational Kids. I haven't seen you here in a minute. What's up, Patricia? Hey, Rachel. Hey, hi, Mike. Hi, Natalie. How you doing, baby? And no. First of all, I don't have a man, but I am speaking to the theme of Leo season. Okay, because we do have a new moon coming up on Saturday, and I just thought it would be very fitting considering that transiting sun is also in Leo, so we are dealing with a lot of Leo energy. And me personally, I have seen the way that this energy has manifested. I mean, when I say this Leo energy, I mean it's holding no prisoners. Leo season is coming in full force. And so I wanted to share some things with you guys in terms of just what I've noticed, as well as just giving, some more general overviews in terms of like maybe what we could expect from Leo season, as well as this Leo new moon, and, parlay like that. So y'all make sure you thumbs up this video, share this live, okay? What's this song? This is Brandon Dowdell. Dowdell. Brandon Dowdell. That's my partner. Go stream all his music. He's bomb. This song is called Whipped Cream. He need to pay me some money because I be giving him a lot of free promo. Your comment may have been deleted. I don't know. It depends on what you were saying, because sometimes YouTube has those built-in algorithms. So like certain words, I guess, triggers, an automatic like deletion. They automatically delete people's comments. So I don't know. I ain't deleted though. Hey, Tuli. What's up, the artist FKA? Top 5 DOA. Happy solar return, Cherry Red. Ellie. Google deletes comments. There you go. Hey, Starlight Bright. Hey, Sierra. All right. So we're going to start in just a second. Let's see. You always come through when I need a reason to procrastinate my studying. Damn well you weren't trying to study, girl. Damn well.
Should I be hiding, me and Leo? I don't know. You gonna be hiding all Leo season? Y'all, it's really like August, and I don't I feel like this year just happened. Let me go ahead and share this live stream to my bulletin board, my community tab, and it will start. I can tell by the look up in your eyes. Surprise. You cross my mind. For you. There's a fire burning in my heart. Your love that keeps me yearning. Fire to my spine. So tell me what it takes to be with you. I need right now, long as I need you. You're the only one in my life. Girl, I go crazy when you cross my mind. I wanna see you. You found it? Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay. So, I just thought it was really interesting because, you know, if you guys have been keeping up with me on Twitter, you can find me on Twitter at HoodAstroQ, as well as my community tab. I try to keep, you guys up to date. This past week, my grandfather and my uncle passed away back to back. And it really set the tone for this Leo season for me, just because Leo deals with our fathers, the male energies, the male presence in our lives. And I just thought that was so crazy. So the first thing I want to do is go over my transits, y'all, because I can't make this shit up. Okay, I can't make this shit up. So last Friday, mind you, was it Friday? Last Saturday. It was Saturday. Transiting Sun made a direct conjunction to my natal Chiron. I am a part of the Chiron Leo generation. So it was literally sitting directly on top of my Chiron at that 9th degree in my 10th house. Now, it had some other effects as well. Some of those other effects that I noticed was reminiscing over past wounds. The 10th house oftentimes does deal with the past, but it could also even deal with you know elderly influences, authority figures. So that in tandem with Chiron and transiting Sun in my 10th house, I started thinking a lot about past heartbreak, heartache, but also as it pertains to the men, in my life, not just romantically, which I mean Leo is all about romance as well. But I have a very estranged relationship with my father, which I'll get into a little bit later. And so I was just kind of in this melancholy kind of state. Chiron also deals with our wounds, physical wounds, emotional, psychological. So I was kind of down in the dumps and feeling away. And I get the news that my uncle, his name was Ernest, passed away due to a heart attack. Mind you, Leo rules the heart. And so, with transiting Sun activated my Chiron in that 10th house of Leo, that could directly deal with a sudden jolt, like a sudden, unexpected, shocking circumstance, or something like crazy happening, with the father figure in my life, uh, primarily by way of like the heart. You really can't make this shit up. Like him having a heart attack. So I was like, well, damn. Then on top of that, my grandfather died like not even 24 hours later. So, and that transit, that Chiron sun transit was on its way out for me. So, you know, it reopened a lot of the old wounds that I had, like, and as well as inflicting new wounds, right? Like death, like, trauma, traumatic situations. That's what Chiron is all about. So, I just thought that was kind of crazy. And my grandfather died of a heart attack as well. Okay. So once again, the heart. Like you literally can't make this up. And then when I went and I took a look at my uncle Ernest, I didn't look at my grandfather's natal chart, or at least not recently. I can't remember, but I do know for a fact because I recently put up my uncle's chart. He was actually an Aquarius sun. He had his sun in opposition to his Pluto. He was a part of that Pluto Leo generation, Leo dealing with the heart. So I didn't look at his transits, but it is highly plausible that this transiting sun, the same time that it crossed my Chiron, it was also crossing his Pluto. And that's what initiated his death, right? Him having a heart attack. And then, that's kind of what set off the chain of events in my life as well. So, I was just like, oh my God, you can't make this shit up. It could also deal with him having like a very sudden death, right? Where it just comes out of nowhere. Then on top of that, I'm still experiencing my Saturn return. Saturn could also deal with like our father influences in our lives. So I'm a Saturn Aquarius, person. I'm part of that generation. So Saturn, okay, my Saturn was actually forming a direct opposition to, or excuse me, transiting Saturn, because I am going through my Saturn return. Transiting Saturn is actually in my fourth house, right? And it was forming a direct opposition to my Chiron. So, which is once again in the 10th house. Like I said, shocking, surprising events within the family involving men. Like it's just, you really can't make this shit up. So I was just like, I was shook. I was shook. And not only has it played out in that regard, because we all know that Leo influence does deal with men, the masculine influence, which is why I named this live what I named it, right? My daddy, my man, my children. But also, very fittingly, is that a word? Very fittingly, I just made that up. I've been having issues with my daughter as well. So like just nothing major, kind of, like disciplinary problems and things like that. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on, huh? This is crazy. This is crazy. Now I don't have a man. I don't have a boyfriend, a husband, nothing of that sort. But I'm pretty sure if I had, that nigga be giving me some problems as well right about now. So I'm like, it's crazy. Have you guys noticed this theme? And of course it matters in terms of where transiting sun is going to be placed within your chart, right? Like where it's transiting through. But I was just curious to know, because these are some themes that even as we approach the new moon, and just throughout, August, the remainder of August, these are going to be prevalent themes, right? A lot of people are going to be experiencing maybe not necessarily the same issue as me, right? But very similar ones involving men, involving your romantic life, involving children, and things of that sort. So let me see. Thank you, Starlight Bright. Thank you guys. Right. Heart attack in Leo season. Thank y'all. Thank you guys so much for your well wishes. Even with the under my posts on my community tab and even on Twitter, I thank you guys so much for the prayers and the support. I really, really do appreciate it. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all so, 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 so much. And it's truly felt like I receive it. I receive it. I was gonna say it's making my heart warm. Very Leo, right? My heart, my soul. I feel it. I feel the love. That's the positive. That's the more positive manifestation of that Leo energy too, though. Like love and strength and warmth, and I feel all of that. So I appreciate that, y'all. For sure. For sure. We just lost a baby. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hate that. Thank you guys so much for the love and the condolences. Your father's death almost took you out as well. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I can only imagine. I know that's crazy. I am so sorry. So, that's one facet of how things, can play out. But sticking along the same lines, right? These same themes, especially when we talk about children, Fetty Wap, his daughter died, okay, not too long ago. In Leo season, right? Children. Tony Baker, the comedian, it's been reported today that his oldest son died in a car accident. Y'all, it's crazy. Now that shit blew me. And I actually want to take some time and pull up Tony Baker's chart for a minute. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Um, because now this is something I definitely want to dig a little deeper into. So apparently his son, he has a 21-year-old son. His son was driving with his friend. Um, Thank you so much for the cash app, Angela. Thank you. Um, his son was driving with his friend, and basically, I guess they were. I mean, it was like 11:30 at night. They were getting ready to make a turn, like a left turn at a light. And as they were like midway through the turn, a car that was speed racing with another car slammed directly into them, splitting their car in half, y'all. The car splits in fucking half. The car split in half. Needless to say, I mean, I hope it killed them instantly because that's a horrific way to go. Um, but yeah, and the because I think it was a girl, so it was when maybe it was his girlfriend or just like a lady friend. I'm not sure, but the young lady was only 19. So Tony Baker's son and the girl were both ejected from the vehicle and just died on the spot. And I think maybe one other person passed away, but everybody involved, because like I said, there was another car on the scene. Everybody involved didn't die. You know how that goes. Usually, the people who are at fault for these crazy ass accidents don't die. It'd be like the innocent victims. So like I said, I my heart really goes out to him. I love Tony Baker. I mean, I don't care if I did it. I wouldn't wish that type of pain on nobody. Having a kid myself, I'm getting choked up. Like that shit is fucked up. Like to lose your child like that. And I know he was such a proud dad. You know what I mean? And he used to post his kids all the time. And so, it just that shit just did something to me. I mean, even with Fetty Wap's daughter, right? It just in general, my heart goes out to all to everybody who's ever lost a child. Like that shit is fucked up. Like it don't matter how old the child is, how old you are. My mom would always say that, like, a parent should never have to bury their child. Like that is crazy. It's crazy. So, but as horrible as it is, that's it's on par with Leo season. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things happening in people's lives, and I mean it could be good, bad, or indifferent, but centering around your children, centering around our fathers and our grandfathers, and so. And now let me go ahead and share my screen really quick. Let's see. So Tony Baker was born on May 17th, 1977. Now, for those of you all who are not familiar with Tony Baker, really quick, he is a comedian. He's actually, I like to call him one of the newer age comedians. He does do stand up. He's actually has, from what I heard, excellent, stand up gigs. Like he does really great shows. I haven't been able to attend any myself, but I follow him on social media, and like he'll do little excerpts, and you'll be able to find certain clips and things like that on YouTube. And he does a phenomenal job. He's also on All Deaf Digital, and he's on social media. He does like he's best known for his animal voiceovers. I never knew. I never knew. And cram. Like, he's just funny. The nigga funny, period. He's funny. He's hilarious. Some of the best animal voiceovers, period. And it's just crazy. So that's who what he's known for. If you're not familiar with him, I strongly suggest you guys look him up. Um what's going on with Latoya? What happened with Latoya? I'm looking in the chat. Oh, my husband just all of a sudden asked for a divorce because he can't control me. I have yet to find out the reason for it. He said, I'm putting me, oh, Jesus. And I'm going to get to that. I'm first of all, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry to hear that. Um, but, hopefully this live helps to put some of that into context, because that's actually 100% on brand with the weather for this season. And so, with that being said, I mean, I know heartache in all forms is nothing I will wish on my worst enemy. So, I definitely, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. So Tony Baker was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Rapids, Michigan. And so this would actually place his son. The first thing that popped out to me, guys, was the fact that his sun is at the 26th degree of Taurus. Now, that 26th degree of Taurus, right? It happens to be conjoined to this fixed star called Algol, which is known as one of the worst fixed stars, I mean, ever, like in astrology. And not to be hyperbolic or dramatic, which I mean, I guess would be on brand with Leo season too, but not even trying to be dramatic or extra. Point is, they call it the blinking demon, and it's associated with painful death, crazy like circumstances, violent circumstances, and then with the son dealing with what, once again, the father. I'm not really sure about his background. Maybe his father has passed on, but it deals with children. So having your son conjoined to algo like that can produce crazy violent situations, sudden death of children, and the way his son died was in a horrifically violent way. So I just, that right there, it that was the first thing that stood out to me, right? So there's that. Then on top of that, the second thing I noticed is that Tony Baker does have his Saturn at this 11th degree of Leo here. And the number 11 in and of itself is a very challenging number because it can bring about a lot of highly emotional situations, like conflict, challenges, struggle. It's a very karmic number. And Saturn in Leo, I always say this, especially when I'm, delineating natal charts, it can be a very, very difficult placement because a lot of these individuals tend to experience a lot of hardship by way of their children, right? This can create a lot of karmic baggage, karmic debt by way of your children. And I would be very interested to know, because I haven't done a transit reading. I haven't pulled up Tony Baker's transits, but it's very plausible that transiting sun, once again, could have activated his Saturn, right? And so a lot of these people can have very karmic and painful situations surrounding their children. And then on top of that, this Saturn here just so happens to be squaring his Uranus, which is at the 9th degree of Scorpio. That in and of itself is a death aspect, that could literally deal with the death of a child. the sudden, you got to think about Uranus, the sudden, once again, unexpected, like random, unforeseen death of a child. So I was like, wow, like you literally can't make this up. And I really, really think that transiting sun um has some, it has to be very close to this his Saturn right now. Um as well as his Uranus is probably, aspecting his Uranus as well. So, I just that was crazy. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in his chart that could point towards that. I think those are the two main things that really stood out to me in terms of the situation with his son. Okay. He does have his son forming a sesqui square to Pluto, which could potentially, now that could also even deal with, I don't know if he and his wife, I mean, it's very plausible that they could have had, his ex-wife anyway, had like court disputes and things like that, like child support and custody issues, because he is divorced. His sons, I think the older son was 21, and then he had a younger son who's like a teenager. So he was married to their mother early on and then divorced them. So I'm pretty sure that deals with whatever legal proceedings and issues that they may have had within the court system. But those are the main themes that I definitely wanted to touch upon. And like I said, I really, really, really hate that for him. I hate this for him so much. So much. Girl, really, that's what 11 is. My midheaven is at that degree. I mean, yeah, it could deal with struggle and challenge. Now, the type of struggle and challenge that would just be contingent upon what sign is attached to, you know what I'm saying, what other planets are aspecting it. It just depends, but sometimes it can denote family issues, emotional issues. Yeah, it's very devastating. Let's see. I'm sorry to everyone for any pain or loss. This too shall pass. Thank you so much, Pisces Moon. Took you for a loop. Almost destroyed me, and you woke up good 2 days ago with peace. Mm. So, with that being said, this is just one of the examples of, the way that Leo season has really been stepping on a lot of people's necks, like for no reason at all. Like it's really been out here. So there's that. Now, I also wanted to touch upon some other themes, okay? Some other themes associated with this Leo season, especially once again as we approach this new moon. So confidence is a major theme, and this should be taken with a grain of salt once again because it does depend on what house this is transiting in for you. But people could feel a lot more confident during this time. There could also be a desire to stand out, to want to be celebrated, gaining attention, and with the sun, I mean, technically, transiting sun is still forming an opposition to Saturn in Aquarius. Um, it's not like a exact transit right now. It's not exact, but it could still be in effect, or it could still come into play, or we could still feel some of the residual effects of that, as well as at some point the transiting moon is going to be forming an opposition to Saturn as well, and then you have Uranus and Taurus squaring transiting Sun, and it'll also be squaring this Leo moon too. And with that being said, this could cause for a lot of people to do ridiculous things for attention, or to go to like crazy lengths for attention, be it positive or negative. And it actually puts me in the mind frame of the baby. Okay, because this could even affect people, or we could see this play out on a celebrity level because Leo does deal with celebrities. It is a lot of people who are in positions of popularity and fame are going to be most visibly affected by these transits. So I think about the baby because The baby is actually he's a part of the Saturn Aquarius gang. And during this whole Rolling Loud debacle where he was talking crazy about gay people and people with HIV, just so happened, I believe transiting Sun was forming a direct opposition to his Saturn. And that could be a very reputation damaging transit, but it could also deal with, where a person could exude very stunning and shocking behavior. I mean, you see how that's going, right? I personally feel like he did it for attention. So, and that would be very on par with this climate, this astrological climate. A lot of people are going to be showing their asses unapologetically, unapologetically, and that's more so an attribute to Saturn, right? Saturn in Aquarius, and the contact that is making to the opposition that is making to the Sun, even with Uranus and Taurus, like all traditional, methods go out the window, and everything is all about letting it all hang out. Everything is all about new and shocking things. So, you know, there goes that, right? And a lot of times, this energy can also create contrarians and people who are just like, shock jocks, because in their minds, attention, be it bad or good, is still attention. It's still attention. So there could be a lot of controversy going on. A lot of people could be needing peanut galleries during this time. That's very Leo. Popularity. There could be a lot of emphasis on gaining popularity. There could also be a lot of emphasis on creativity, creative expression. Like I said before, celebrities, the entertainment industry. So expect to hear a lot of different updates about celebrities throughout this month, because a lot of them are going to be buck wild. But also, there could be a lot of updates surrounding important public figures. And once again, with that opposition that Saturn is making to the Sun, and with Uranus squaring the Sun, and at some point the Moon, right? There could be a lot of shocking revelations about people in high positions of power and authority, too. So, kings from a global standpoint, but also political leaders, which brings me to Cuomo. Now, I'm gonna save his reading for Patreon. If you are not a member of my Patreon, go ahead and check that out. I always say I'll add the link and I forget, but I promise I'll add the link after this live post. But recently it came out that he out here touch it, bring it, babe, watch it, turn it, name it, stop for a minute, just touching on people and doing crazy stuff that, let's be real, most politicians do. That Saturn and Aquarius era in general is going to really bring the perversion out of people. It's going to really highlight a lot of instances. And I even spoke on this in my Saturn Aquarius video. Y'all go check that out after this live if you care to. Where, a lot of pervs and the P words are going to be exposed, and lots of weird and shocking behavior. And so, I thought that was interesting as well. Also, there could also be a lot of emphasis placed on fun, recreational activity. And these are things that a lot of people can do, especially when we talk about that Leo new moon, to kind of help you usher in, the new energy. Find a hobby. Keep yourself busy and awaken your childlike nature, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's okay to be giddy and childish, and a lot of people will be during these times. You can overdo it, right? A lot of times it can also produce immaturity and things like that, but it's okay to kind of just not take yourself so seriously during this time. Also, this brings me to what we've been talking about in the chat. Romance is another major theme that's going to be on full display during this particular season, right? With there being a lot of attention placed on matters of the heart in general, right? Leo rules the heart, so romance, fifth house shit, you know what I'm saying? Even sex. Now, with once again Saturn technically still opposing the Sun and Uranus negatively aspecting the Sun, there could be issues with people really like attaining these things. So this could manifest in breakups, divorces. A lot of people's relationships are going to be put to the test or dissolve completely. Okay. And so to the young lady who was in chat basically saying her husband broke up with her out of nowhere, that is absolutely a manifestation of this transit. And like I said, to provide more clarity and context, it will be interesting to see exactly where this is placed in your chart and whatever else you have going on within your natal chart. But this could actually be a major thing that's happening for a lot of people. On TikTok the other day, I was scrolling and I came across a video of this other lady who is going through a breakup, a really bad breakup right now, and she's a Leo. She's and I was like, girl, what's the tea with like this? What's the tea? Like this Leo season is, oh my God, playing out so literally. But she's a Leo, and apparently she just broke up with her, or her boyfriend broke up with her, and um she also gave me Leo South No vibes, slick. But she was so hurt, understandably so, right? And so she was just documenting her plight and whatnot. So I was like, damn, it is a lot of this going on right now. A lot of this shit going on right now. So I thought that was very I was like, okay, that's on brand. So love could be in the air or heartbreak for many people. Okay. Uh, Also, the wild, there could be a wild card in terms of the stock market investments. So be on the lookout for that. If you somebody who like investing your money and you do, this is a time to kind of pay close attention. Um, Also, taking it back to themes involving sex, there could be a I guess you could say a tendency for a lot of people to feel way more sexually aroused, so to speak, than usual. But sex may be kind of hard to come by for a lot of people. A lot of people could be abstinent, or maybe this could just be like a dry month with Saturn in Aquarius, like I said, opposing the sun and even the moon. So, that's something else to think about. I also mentioned the children earlier, but, a lot of people could also be having crazy issues with their kids, even just in terms of like discipline, um, being estranged from their kids as well. Casinos, there could be a lot of activity happening with casinos this season, just because Leo is the sign of gambling. So I'll be interested to see if like certain casinos make the news and whatnot. People could be very superficial during this time, right? Exaggeration or exaggerating could definitely be a common theme. But this could also be copycat season, where everybody is trying to outdo one another, or even lay claim to other people's ideas, or maybe even kind of model yourself after other people's behavior. Acts of kindness, warmness, like I said before, could also be themes that definitely come to the forefront. And these are different energies that you could definitely like pour yourself into for the new moon as well. Okay. um but also like bossiness, as well as the tendency to be very unapologetic even about like rude and crude behavior, and even like lots of prejudice. I put pride and prejudice. Lots of prejudice. Occurrences could be on the rise during this time. Leo is actually an extremely prejudiced sign, and so with the opposition that the sun and the moon will be making to Saturn and Aquarius, maybe from a global standpoint, there could be another one of those like social justice causes to kind of stand behind, due to some act of discrimination or once again some act of prejudice and things like that. Other things that could be happening is a lot of people paying closer attention to once again the checks and balances in terms of like the people in power, right? Our government, once again, political leaders and things like that. So These are just some things to expect within, Leo season the next couple of weeks. You started talking to the Scorpio dude. Should you be worried? I mean, not any more worried than anyone else. I mean, like it just depends on what he has going on in his chart. I'm not gonna necessarily say that you should be worried off rip. I don't, he could be straight. While some of them don't even think anything of it either. What happened on Lipstick Alley? Tasha K is gonna be busy. Not abortion. Don't mess with the alphabet mafia. Listen, I mean, cancel culture don't exist. He's gonna be all right, but they definitely gave his ass hell. What's up, KP? My Sidereal sign. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio sun, Mars. I mean, I relate a lot to it simply by way of the fact that it kind of corresponds a lot with excuse me, my tropical chart because I'm even though I'm a Sagittarius sun, I'm still a very early degree Sag. I was born in November, so my Scorpio Mars is conjoined to my sun in my tropical chart. So in a lot of ways, my mannerisms and a lot of my experience and my sense of awareness is very Scorpio. Like I act a lot like a Scorpio. So yeah, I guess you could say I kind of do relate. And even if he's blacklisted, Chris Brown blacklisted, but you see the nigga still successful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got like mainstream and the mainstream white people, they don't play that shit. But unfortunately, we all know black America, the black community, rap culture, they don't give a fuck. They're homophobic as fuck. They don't care about that shit. He's gonna be okay. So I mean, like I said, on the more positive side, on the upside, when it comes to this Leo season, like I said, these are going to be major things, but they can play out in positive ways too. So in terms of like I said, romance could be in the air. You could be on the receiving end of acts of kindness, generosity. Maybe you may feel moved to be kind and generous. Being playful, having fun. Involving yourself in some recreational activities. You know what I mean? Like I mean, there could be some fun things in Leo season. I was just really speaking to my experience personally and kind of like building upon that, but then also just things that I've noticed. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the things have just been like, unfortunately, not that great. You know, like the more shocking things. So how important are fixed stars in the chart? I mean, they can be pretty important. Um, they're more so kind of like decoration. I use them kind of as decoration because they can kind of help support certain things within the natal chart. So to kind of give you more details or information. You know what I'm saying? Not making the same song since 2015. You think so? I mean, I understand where a lot of his music can sound similar, but of course be having some bangers. I ain't even gonna hold you. With his colorist ears, his abusive ears. Ain't that depressing? Whitney, her daughter, her stepson gone. Definitely. It's kind of heavy. Today's your oldest son's birthday. He turned 30. Happy birthday. Happy solar return, son. All right. So yeah, I'm not gonna make this too long. Predictions for the new moon. Well, this is kind of like the new moon Leo season wrapped in one. So I don't really have any specific predictions for the new moon. It could really heighten a lot of the themes going on with Leo season, but maybe it can play out on a more personal level, especially with the moon dealing with personal. Yeah, I'll do Whitney Houston's chart eventually. Eventually. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and conclude this live because I have a lot of stuff to do. I just wanted to touch base with you guys, check in. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this live stream up. And yeah, thank you guys for attending, and I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.